Welcome back to Newsline. Breaking news right now. We are getting details of the call between President Donald Trump and Russia President Vladimir Putin, which lasted more than an hour, almost 2 hours. And the Kremlin also putting out a statement confirming that they have accepted a ceasefire proposal for 30 days. Some other details are now coming in on the discussions and the potential of what the relationship between Russia and the U.S. moving forward looks like. Blaine Holt, Brigadier General, Newsmax contributor, standing by with a reaction to this. Blaine, great to see you. So this call went on for some time. We know President Trump and Vladimir Putin had maybe had some discussions before about land. President Trump had said, we're going to talk about land. We're going to talk about Zaporizhia. I just want to update our viewers if they are just joining us. The White House's statement said that they will agree on energy and infrastructure ceasefire. They're also going to agree on negotiations on implementation of a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, a full ceasefire and lasting peace to come. So as we look at stages of this, negotiations beginning in the Middle East, it doesn't seem like maybe they're as far apart as we thought. What's your read on this?
You know, I think a lot of us in this who watch this stuff, we were a lot more hopeful that there'd be a little bit more comprehensive nature to it. It does look like they're really kind of nailing down where they've got alignment, especially in the maritime spot and the power and infrastructure. It's so critical that those things are done. I know that the president also talked about the trapped soldiers and trying to get things wound down. So this is a mighty start. This is very good that the two are talking, but there's still so many details. And now there's enough out there for either Ukraine or the Europeans to really either balk out or get behind and support. The NATO peacekeeper thing is going to be a stick point with the EU, but for the Russians, that is absolutely off the table.
And at least there is now discussions, negotiations moving forward. It's not a stalled deal. It is a deal that has some momentum, and we'll see where that goes. I also find it interesting that the White House's readout here also includes that they both agree Iran should never be in a position to destroy Israel because, you know, the question is, what is the shift of balance here? Iran, China, Russia, and now we see Putin clearly understanding that if he wants back into sort of the global players club here, making a deal, making it now may be the best window he has.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And honestly, the Iran question is a big victory for President Trump because if Russia wanted to, they could make life very, very difficult in the Middle East using Iran as a pivot point. But Iran lost a lot of its wartime production capability out of the last Israel strike. This is a place where Russia can be very helpful. You know, the Russians have taken in a lot of Christians and Alawites just to save them in the Syria situation where you see a building terror state. And so I think President Putin well understands that if we're not going to go to a place World War III, then the Middle East is a cauldron, and the United States and Russia would do well to cooperate where they possibly can. This will also help pull Putin away from the welded relationship they have with China now, which quite honestly for the Russians hasn't worked out very well.
No, and President Trump's also very clear that he has a great relationship with Xi, so there might be some salvaging here. It could be all upside. Obviously, right now it's still early hours, but the agreement is 30 days, corresponding order to the military. So they are not going to hit each other's energy infrastructure. That seems locked in place, and at least that is a win for the folks in Ukraine as well, who have been taking, of course, massive hits to the infrastructure, to power plants. Final thoughts on that, Blaine?
Yeah, I mean, so President Trump is getting his outcome. He's saving as much of Ukraine as he can. He's stopping the killing. But in this 30-day period of time, if everybody respects that, we have a mighty, mighty pull that we have to do to get across the line to a lasting peace.
What do you think Zelensky's reaction is going to be, and what should it be? Because he put out a statement yesterday on video saying that Russia really doesn't want this, and now it seems like indeed they're open to it.
Yeah, I think the ball is in his court, and honestly, his country needs his leadership right now. He needs to stand up and find where he can find some goodness in this, because if it's just all rejection, there are no better ideas coming out of the EU that would be helpful. Money and weapons hasn't gotten this done for 3 years, and there is no military solution in front of anybody.